We've got the top 3 in studio. We're talking MasterChef South Africa 2024. It's coming to an end on SABC 3 tomorrow. That's when the big winner will be revealed. It's an all-female final this year, and so it's wonderful to welcome the top 3 into studio. We've got Nabila. She's here. Good
Hello.
afternoon. How are you?
I'm great, and yourself?
I'm wonderful. Welcome, welcome. Chanel is here as well. Hello, Chanel.
Hi.
How are you?
Good and you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Chanel is tiny. And then we've also got Bridget. Bridget is statuesque. Good afternoon, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you, and yourself?
I'm wonderful. This is amazing. Ladies, I must just say, congratulations for making it this far in this competition. I'm pretty sure your nerves are on a whole other level at this point, right? How does it feel to know that everything will be revealed tomorrow? I know you have some inside info already, but you know, for the millions of South African viewers who are going to be tuning in tomorrow, how are you feeling? I'm going to start with you, Chanel, because you're closest to me.
Excited, but also scared at the same time.
Yeah.
Because everything is basically riding on this last cook. So
Yeah.
it's a huge deal. I mean, I've gotten through so many challenges, and now it's just the last challenge, and we'll see how that goes.
So in terms of all of the challenges, correct me if I'm wrong, but were there 19 cook-offs?
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah, 19 and because I have to ask each and every one of you, like, how did you get into it? How did you know that this is something that you wanted to do? I mean, you're all so young. You know, was it always a passion of yours? Is cooking a passion of yours?
Yeah, it's always been a passion of mine from the time I've been really small. I do come from a foodie family. So naturally, growing up, I was always surrounded by food and encouraged to experiment in the kitchen. But I think the turning point for me was when I created my social media page. I did it as a hobby during lockdown, and I did not expect for it to take off the way that it did.
Wow.
And I've always wanted to be a chef. And so it got to that point where I was like, okay, I need to see what's next. I need to level up from here.
Okay.
And that's when I decided to enter MasterChef.
I mean, that's pretty brave. You know, it's pretty brave to start putting your ideas and your creativity out on social media. We know that there's such a big taste for it. There's such a big thirst for it. People are engaging with that kind of content. And then brave to then say, well, you know, I'm going to take on MasterChef South Africa. I mean, that's huge. That's big.
It definitely
amazing.
is. I've always wanted to enter MasterChef, though, because I've watched the show for such a long time.
Yeah.
But I think that this time there was really that push, because I was like, okay, doing it on social media, but I need to see what else I can actually do in the kitchen and see if I can develop my skills even more.
Got you. We'll come back to you. We'll have more questions for Chanel Brink. I've got to move to Bridget. She's next in my eye line. This is the youngest ever contestant on MasterChef South Africa ever. Bridget, you're only 20.
Yeah.
Wow. When did you start cooking?
Last week.
I started cooking when I was around 7, turning 8-ish.
Wow.
Because I was really just a curious child, I'd say. And from there, I then started doing the catering and the real cooking around 17. And yeah, from then on, I was doing that for quite a while. And now I decided this year, let me enter this competition.
Wow.
And why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got all of the years of experience, you know.
Not even.
Starting from the age of 7 and 8, getting into catering.
But that's
because
not real cooking.
yeah, but I mean, you see, I'm sure, you know, you were probably, you know, cooking with your grandmother, cooking with your aunts, cooking with your mother. Is that how it started?
No.
Were you cooking on your own?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
It was
I
that
like
thing
that.
of I wanted to literally learn, and I would sit in front of the TV watching Siba's Table and writing down these recipes, because it was the most relatable type of show, and I
absolutely.
really like. That's probably like I'd faint if I met her, but
We can hook you up here. She was here the other day. She's a huge friend of the show. She was here the other day. We spent an hour with her.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to be able to. I'm sure all of you are going to be able to get that opportunity at a later stage,
that
because I
would be
mean,
incredible.
regardless of what happens tomorrow, you know, this is just the beginning for all of you.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to move to our third guest, Nabila, also very young. All of you ladies are so young. 23 years old, am I correct?
Correct, yeah.
So tell me about your love of cooking.
It's mostly from my background influence. So my mom's Afrikaans and my dad's Arabic.
Wow.
And so with the Arabic culture, you do a lot of hosting.
Yes.
And obviously being a female in the house, I was definitely helping out a lot of the time. And it also became a creative outlet. I was just able to, express more creativity and curiosity through food. And so that was definitely an influence in getting into the kitchen. But the main reason I actually entered was because of some of the influences in my life. I'm more of a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
And so the type of people that are around me, they're usually the ones that spot out the skills that I have and, kind of push me forward, because sometimes I'm a bit hesitant about that.
Wow.
And so that's actually how I decided to get into MasterChef.
It's just amazing. You know what I love to do? I love to just interact with chefs and cooks and just ask them what their influences are, just hoping to just, get some knowledge out of them and get some more information. But your background most certainly is going to stand you in good stead, because that is unusual. You've got two separate cultures, two separate cuisines, and you've been able to put that together into something amazing and absolutely new. So, I mean, that must feel incredible.
It really is. It's beyond incredible, actually.
Yeah.
Just the entirety of this process until now has been the most almost surreal experience. Yeah. And that all just comes from making a decision and stepping forward into a challenge. So it's crazy.
I mean, you are inspiring so many people, including me here. It's 17 minutes after 4. We'll have some more time with Bridget, Chanel, and Nabila. We're talking to the top 3 as part of MasterChef South Africa. We're going to take a short music break now. And, I want to talk about whether it's savory or sweet, what the ladies think is their strongest sort of point, because I know you've got to do everything. You've got to do everything from cooking and baking. It's not just hot kitchen. It's patisserie as well. It's desserts. It's cakes, it's the grand big things that you have to create as well. So I've got so many more questions. If you've got questions too, keep them coming on 082 222 1049. And quite an honor to have the top 3 in studio. Bridget Mangwandi, Chanel, Brink, Nabila Shamshum. They are here. They are the top 3 as part of MasterChef South Africa. The show started with 20 home cooks all vying for that title of MasterChef South Africa, and that prize money of 1 million rand. 1 million rand. Okay, Chanel, because I mean I've been reading about some of the things. I mean, you've clearly been interviewed. People, every journalist wants to know from each one of you, if you should win that 1 million rand, what are you going to do with it? Before I ask that question, Chanel, what's your background? What do you do for a living?
Actually quite different from the cooking. I actually work in construction. I'm a sales consultant.
What?
Sales consultant, and I just completed my diploma in HR.
Wow.
But I also have an IT background.
Wow.
So a whole
Can you just pick one, please?
I see an app. I see an app, a food app. That you could travel with construction sites. I don't know. What are you going to do with it if you should win it?
There's a lot that I want to do. I want to, first and foremost, go to culinary school. Always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And definitely would love to have maybe like a small bakery or an online bakery. And possibly a few pop-ups as well.
That's interesting, because I was going to ask you, when you were cooking on social media, what were you making? Were you baking? Were you doing everything? Were you focusing on dinners? What were you doing? And where's your love? Where's your actual passion? Which direction are you going into?
So my social media platform is a mixture of both, because I cater for the home cook, because I'm a home cook.
Okay.
And I know, in construction you work long hours. So I wanted to create meals that if you come home from work, you're not going to spend like hours now creating a recipe. Yeah. You need something quick and easy. But as far as my passion, I do like desserts and baking, which is strange because I don't have a sweet tooth at all. But I do like actually creating desserts. I love the flavor profile of also incorporating spices into desserts.
Okay.
So
very nice.
That's the reason why I'd love to have a bakery, just to experiment a bit more as well.
Again, an edge. That's going to be the thing that separates you from the next person, is the flavor profiles and the edge that you bring. It's just incredible. Now, Miss Bridget, I know that you do not want to have a restaurant.
How do you?
I read that somewhere.
Oh,
Somebody
okay.
asked you, somebody said, what are you going to do with $1 million should you win? And you were like, I'm going to do this, and that, but I'm not opening a restaurant. What are you, has that changed?
Not necessarily.
Okay. So what are your plans? What do you hope to move on to after this experience?
Being very passionate in food product development, agricultural extension and stuff like that, I really want to have products in the stores, especially pertaining to a lot of fusion dishes that are created, especially on the show, which I'm so excited about. And that would really be just so cool because it also helps with sustainable farming and stuff in terms of the agricultural extension part. So yeah.
Another edge. You see, another edge. That's delving deeper into just cooking for now
Yeah, I wanna
and just
keep it a
now.
passion.
But because that has got so many other legs as well. It's got farming legs. It's got development. It's introducing people to healthy diets. Creating, using what they've got, coming from the land, farm to table. These things are all incredible topics that are going to just push our country forward and move our country forward. Nutrition is so in the news at the moment. It's tragic. We've got young children that are, being affected by bad food, and your food should never be killing you. And so this is so important, what it is that you're doing. All the best with that. It's really amazing. Nabila,
Yes.
Miss Lady, what are you going to do potentially? Because, some of you have already won money. Chanel, you've won. Nabila, you've won 50,000 Rand. So you've already got money in your back pockets,
Yes. Yes, we do have money in our
And
back
this was for a team challenge that you did, yeah?
Yes.
Nice one.
Those efforts are definitely towards continuing in basically my main passions, which is building community through equipping people in skills. So as someone who is an art teacher as well as works at a school as a secretary, my aim is to be able to empower people in building themselves in skills. And so I'm going to combine my two passions, which is food and art, and really be, I guess the enabling force between that, doing workshops of that sort. I know that it's been quite a common thing. You often see like sip and paints.
Yeah.
I'm not so much into the alcohol section of
Yes.
that, but I'd really like to, delve into pastries and more of the patisserie side of things.
I love
And then
that.
actually help people equip themselves in understanding how to do things, because anyone can really, go into that field if they're interested.
That's just amazing. Something that I remember I went to culinary school, so I have a diploma, but I'm nowhere near your guys' level. But I remember my chef telling me, the plating is so important. You need to, it's all about the plate, and it's also about the placement on the plate, and it's all about where the sauce is and all of these good things. You an art teacher. So you've already got another edge right there. You have an eye. So, how was plating for you? Was it easy? Did it... Because, when I was at school, I literally would practice. I would look at the different plates that I had, go with each plate, see how it looked on the plate. Is it the best plate for the dish? Does it showcase it the way it's supposed to? No, not that one. Try again. Was it easy for you?
I think that to some degree there's a formula to it. But then on the other side, you really need to have that intuition of how is someone actually going to be receiving this?
Yeah.
Is it pleasant in its appearance? And that, I think, to some degree influenced more of my process when I was cooking. And in some of the challenges when I focused too much on plating, I also lost a little bit of the aspect of, the flavor of the food.
Got you.
So trying to find that middle balance was something that I was constantly struggling with throughout the challenges.
Because that is it, right? You need to build that flavor profile. You need to impress the judges who are going to come at you every time going, just didn't get it. These flavors just don't work. What was the most nerve-wracking for you? Was it that moment where
that's the moment.
you have to bring the plate up to the judges?
It's very intimidating.
Yeah.
Yes, it looks intimidating. We watching it on the TV and you walking and that music is playing at the back, in the background. Was that the worst? And then they looked at it and then they tasted it and then?
And they stared into your eyes and they saw your darkest, deepest secrets.
I can imagine. Because they're supposed to have poker faces, They're not supposed to go, they're just supposed to judge and be sort of, what's the word?
Unbiased.
Impartial. Yes, unbiased, impartial. Do you have questions, guys? Because we're running out of time and we've got to say goodbye. No? Wow, ladies, I wish I could keep you here for the rest of the show, but I know you are very busy and you've got lots of other places to get to. But just thank you so much for your time today and all the very best for the final tomorrow on SABC 3 at 8:30, MasterChef South Africa, the finale. We just want to wish you everything of the best, and we hope to see all of you back in our studio at some stage in the future, telling us all the exciting things that you are doing as part of this and post this experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yay.
It was lovely.
News is next.
Don't go anywhere.